What's up, y'all? This is King Known Cleary on YouTube, aka Unknown, aka King Known, aka Quentin Cleary the person. Yo, I'm here to give you another list. Top 15 female MCs. Now, I love rap. There's not many people that love rap music like me, different types of music, that kind of thing. But one thing I don't talk about is female MCs that much. And I love them as well. They bring a nice little element to the game as far as their presence, their enthusiasm, their sexiness, and their power. Some of those things that they have over male MCs is just the fact that they can be sex symbols and they can be good examples, better examples than guys can at times. But some female MCs, the biggest flaw is they can't get enough of them in a room to really get along and to establish, to stand behind each other and go long periods of time throughout their careers and success without having someone to hate on or diss. But I mean, competition is one thing, but just hating on the chick because she's successful is super whack. Now, for an honorable mention, Iggy Azalea is not going to be on the list due to the fact that she's only been hot for 1 year, and she needs a handful of years to be dominant to be a top 15 female MC of all time, and she's not there yet. Lady of Rage, she's a one-hit wonder, so she's out. Who else is on here that ain't on here that's supposed to be on here, but they're gonna say that it's supposed to be on there? Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not gonna give away anymore. Number 15. Well, a lot of people would say Gangsta Boo, you know what I'm saying, should be on this list instead of this person at 15. But I feel like she's had a legitimate amount of years in the game. She has multiple gold albums. She's never been platinum before, but this isn't just sales. I mean, her career has been up and down, but she's been a great supporting cast type of person. I'm gonna have to go with Trina at number 15. I think that Trina's an okay MC. She's not very lyrical, but she came in as one of the most raunchy female MCs to ever step up to the mic. Probably, arguably, you could say she's the best Southern female MC. You could arguably say that because they got LaChat, they got Gangsta Boo, you got Diamond from Crime Mob, you got Princess from Crime Mob. Out of them chicks, I'd probably take Trina as out of that whole group because I just think that Trina's got a little bit of longevity. She definitely has a feminine sound. She could be raunchy. She could be just as nasty as the other males. When they talk about women, she gonna do the same thing and talk about guys. So that's why I think Trina deserves to be on this list at 15. Number 14, Nitty Scott. Now I know a lot of people are saying that she hasn't had any success in the industry yet, but I think her lyrical ability alone puts her on this list, and the fact that she's a new gen female rapper. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people would say Iggy Azalea sold this amount of copies, that amount of copies, and stuff like that. But to be a goat, you gotta have a package that's a odd package, and Nitty Scott does provide that. I think she can rap her ass off. I mean, a lot of people would say Snow the Product should be on this list, but she hasn't put any music out. Nitty Scott has a couple of LPs out that are dope. One I consider a classic myself, with the Boombox Diaries. I think she can hold her own amongst female and male MCs. I think she's really a up and coming lyricist that's going to be on a lot of people's lips. And Rhapsody, another person that doesn't make this list either. Rhapsody falls in this category. I think the fact that she didn't make this list, I mean, she has a bunch of mixtapes out. She's not really as lyrical as they say she is, but she's dope and she's laid back, but she doesn't have a presence about herself. She just raps. She's like a poet, not an MC. I mean, Nitty Scott's a poet too, but she has different styles, different flows. Rhapsody just comes with the same flow over and over and over again. And, her linking up with Night Wonder isn't necessarily the best producer to be around to elevate her sound to that next level. But anyway, number 13, we got an old school chick on this list. I mean, she ran basically the late 80s, early 90s. Her name is Moni Love. I think with some of the stuff that she spit, It's a Shame, Ladies First, she went hard. And on the Native Tongues record too, Buddy, she went off on there. I think that she's one of the most underrated female MCs of all time because nobody mentions her. But if you ask a handful of female MCs, they'll say Moni Love is an example. You know what I'm saying? And they followed her lead. I mean, Moni Love established, a sense of power, a sense of, okay, I'm a female rapper, but I got something to say, and I'm not trying to be no sex symbol. I'm trying to be the nerdy, the cute female that spits and has the poetry of a goddess. So that's why I think Moni Love should be at 13. Number 12, I think this is the problem. You could probably say she's top three, top four, maybe top five lyrically. Easily, this female MC can stand the test of time of lyrical gods such as Mos Def, Talib Kweli. They put her in that soundscape of, a Ninth Wonder, Little Brother. I'm gonna go with Jean Grey at number 12. I think Jean Grey has a style that's awkward, that's weird. If you play Tekken and you play with the girl Zafina, I think that's how you pronounce her name. That's Jean Grey because she has a weird style and she has the lyrical ability to be a god. And Jean Grey isn't necessarily looking to be a popular MC or nothing like that. She isn't looking for fame. She already lets you know what she is and who she is and what she's trying to be and what she's not trying to be. And that's what makes Jean Grey so fucking, elusive and ill because her lyrical ability is quite odd. And it's definitely top five dead or alive. I mean, if you looked at Genius, you looked at This Week, you looked at the other album she put out a couple of years ago, I mean, you could tell this is a different kind of MC. This isn't your traditional female MC. She's sexy, but she doesn't try to endorse that she's a sex symbol. She tries to endorse flow, lyrical ability, free verse. You know what I'm saying? That's what kind of MC that she is. Number 11, I'm gonna go with Roxanne Shante. I think that she is an example for a lot of these female lyricists above her. I think she never necessarily had lyrical ability per se, but Roxanne had punchlines for days. Like she was more of a punchline queen back in the day. She came out in like 85, 86 ish, and then went into the early 90s a little bit. I think she provided competition because Roxanne Shante is the first MC, not female MC, but first MC to create the ability to do a control by Big Sean type of feel where you know without Roxanne Shante, Kendrick Lamar wouldn't have done no fucking control because Roxanne Shante with the Rio Roxanne battles kind of set the stage and started dissing every artist, male or female. It doesn't matter who it was. She went at Public Enemy. She went at School D. She went with Curtis Blow. She went at KRS-One, who later dissed her and The Bridge Is Over. And I think that he just, what I'm saying, she just goes in on everybody because she's just that influential amongst, the Lil Kims, Nicki Minaj, the Queen Latifahs, MC Lights, and stuff like that. Without Roxanne, it ain't none of those MCs. Number 10, Foxy Brown. Now, Foxy Brown is underrated in a lot of aspects due to the fact that Little Kim was a lot more popular than her when she came out. But Foxy had a couple of stable albums and a few plaques to go along with it, few gold singles. I mean, I like Foxy Brown. Her calm demeanor. She looked good. She looked like a China doll with big ass titties, but she held her own amongst male MCs such as Jay Z, Method Man, AZ. She was in the group The Firm with Nas, that all-star group with those guys, those lyrical dudes, Cormiega, Nature, you know what I'm saying? And she holds her own with any male or female. Her and Little Kim thing, they kind of took it a little bit too far with the gunshots and shit like that. over Foxy's verse on Bang Bang. But other than that, I think Foxy's career has been pretty damn good because the usual female MC only lasts maybe about 2-3 albums, 4 or 5 years, and she lasted damn near a decade. And it's just unfortunate that she couldn't reestablish her career after losing her hearing for a couple of years, because I was hoping that Foxy could make a full recovery to come back in the game and dominate again, because I love female MCs and I love Foxy Brown. I think she's pretty ill. Number 9. This is the first female MC to ever go platinum. Think about that for a second. Out of all the MCs that came out before this lady, you had Light, you had you had Left Eye, you had Lil Kim, but none of them put out solo albums before this woman. You know what I'm saying? So before, everybody else came out and started going platinum. I mean, you had Da Brat, and that's who number 9 is. Da Brat is very different because she came out around a time where West Coast hip hop was dominating, and Da Brat sounded like a female Snoop Dogg, and that was the reason why Jermaine Dupri picked her up. And obviously, the style is to be over a 70s funk beat with a ill ass bass line and some hardcore East Coast drums. That's what Jermaine Dupri did with her. He definitely established that chronic feel, and they went back and forth like Dre and Snoop Dogg, and they were just trying to be the younger versions of them because they were dominating hip hop at the time. And then Da Brat, her being from Chi-Town and shit, being from the Midwest, she was kind of like the first female on the Midwest to garner attention. So she started rhyming in that Chi-Town speed rap, that Twista and Do or Die, and those people, you know what I'm saying? That Do or Die and Twista, Bone Thugs, and 3 6 Mafia perfected. And that was the reason why they lasted and had longevity, because Da Brat had versatility. And she went platinum more than once, believe it or not. She's got mad plaques on plaques on plaques. No, it's just unfortunate that her career didn't match her skills. She didn't have a very long career, but you got to realize that. I mean, I think it's just the fact that I think she did what she could do, and she reached somewhat at the apex of her potential. Number 8, the pit bull in a skirt, Eve. Well, Eve is somewhat of a poet, but she was hardcore and gangster. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre originally signed her to Aftermath, but then, the signing of Eminem kind of derailed her career in a way. So D and Y from Rough Riders picked her up, and then they put her in a room with Styles, Sheek Louch, Jadakiss, DMX, Drag-On, just to prove that she fit in with the squad, and they knew that they picked up something. And Eve just busted out of the gate and sold 4 mil, which is ridiculous in that time frame because not many female MCs, even Kim wasn't doing them kind of numbers back then. Eve just gonna come out of nowhere and do no double platinum and get the support of her female MCs. And Eve wanted respect and got respect. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't the first to do that, but you know what I'm saying, for the era that she came out in, she dominated the game for quite a while until she went on a musical break, and that kind of messed her career up for a while because she couldn't get that label situation right and them tracks right. And I just think that she still got a little bit left in the tank. I liked her last album, even though it's a lot of EDM involved, and some of her hardcore fans weren't interested. But I respect Eve, and I think she's worthy of being top 15 all time. Number 7, this woman has dominated the game for the last 5-6 years. Ever since 2007, Nicki Minaj was picked up by Cash Money Records, and her career just skyrocketed. And her numbers obviously put her on this list. Skill wise, I think Nicki has a decent package. The schizophrenic, different characters that she unleashes onto America. The pop songs that she puts out, and the street records, and the fun records and the serious records and the R&B records. Nicki's versatility is very underrated as far as, I mean, her lyrical ability could still use a little bit of work, but other than that, she's not necessarily flawed. It's just that some people, her fans try to make her like she's the greatest female MC to ever touch the mic, which is highly ridiculous. But at the same time, I like Nicki Minaj to an extent. I don't put her above many female MCs per se, but she's in the part of her career where it's about that time that she starts passing people who have legitimately been in this game long enough. But I think Nicki has dominated a little bit, but I think Iggy has had a better year than her. But I think Nicki's going to close the year out right. And I think she's worthy of being on this list. Number 6, she is the first female MC to instill that females are powerful. You know what I'm saying? She is pretty much the Black Panther revolutionary MC slash poet slash singer slash actress slash whatever, Queen Latifah. At number 6, Queen Latifah. I think Queen Latifah is underrated as a rapper, in my opinion. I mean, she gave us Unity. She gave us Ladies First. She gave us, a lot of Just Another Day, which is one of my favorite joints. Like, her records were positive. Her messages was powerful. Unity was just ill. She would just go in like she could go. She could I mean, she put on Naughty by Nature. She put on Apache. She put on Zhané. You know what I'm saying? Her and her personal assistant Sha Kim put all of them cats on. So for her to have such a lasting impact like that on hip hop to where that she could bring all kinds of acts that had big hit records, that says a lot about somebody as influential as as Queen Latifah. Man, she is just a problem in the game. She was a problem when she came in the late 80s, and she dominated some part of the 90s too. Number 5, you know, she came up under Biggie and Lil Kim. Right. Lil Kim at number 5. I think Lil Kim is one of the most underrated MCs in the game. And a lot of people don't put her top 5 because of the fact that the second half of her career didn't go so well, but I mean, how it's hard to follow up a classic like The Naked Truth. I mean, everybody knows Lil Kim for that hardcore poster and that album. That was a great album. I like Notorious Kim to an extent. And La Bella Mafia was ill, and The Naked Truth was just godly. It was nothing that she could do to really. I mean, when your last album is a classic, nobody can say shit about you really, because they be like, "What you do? What your last album do?" I went platinum, motherfucker, and I got 5 mics in the source. What did you do last year besides sell records? Lil Kim, she had a gutter personality. She had a baritone flow. She was a little girl. She's like 4'11" and like 5'2" in heels. And then she could just spit with the guys. And she's always known for her craziness as far as her dressing, with the one titty out at the awards and her lyrical ability, her dope records. She's had hits for days. Crush on You. Like, there's not many songs out like Crush on You, bro. And no female could ever duplicate that record. And I think that Lil Kim was just something different and such a huge sex symbol. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people got her for records that would be pop hits, but she still was herself and gangsta and never sacrificed her personality. Number 4, A Kindred Spirit, Gone Too Soon, Left Eye. Left Eye came up in TLC. A lot of people say that she never put out a full-length project necessarily, so she doesn't deserve to be on this list. But if you look at the lyrics of Waterfalls, if you look at all the lyrics that she's ever dropped on any TLC song, and her influence amongst other female MCs, you would have to think that Left Eye is one of those people. I think she definitely held it down. She has never necessarily regressed lyrically at all. I think she was very consistent, and her flow was dope, and she could switch it up on you, and you would never expect that for Left Eye to be like to switch it up like that. I mean, she was a Southern MC. You know what I'm saying? She's the second Southern MC on this list, along with Trina. I think Left Eye was like the first of her kind to actually be a kindred spirit and of sorts. And I think she's really dope for just elevating the game with her style and her influential abilities to succeed. I mean, I think that her messages and her lyrics, if you listen to her lyrics, you'll figure out the message quickly. Number three, versatile, singer, rapper, Missy Elliott. Missy is something that was animation. Like, you couldn't tell whether Missy was real or artificially created, because Missy just has a style to just stand out with her animation. I mean, if you look at her album Super Duper Fly, The Cookbook, you look at, Under Construction, and you know She's a Bitch, you know what I'm saying? Them kind of records. I think that Missy was just one of a kind. And that's the reason why the game misses her so much. I mean, her and Timbaland was an unstoppable combination. I mean, you got Missy So Addictive album. You had This Is Not a Test. Like, her career was long. She got to see her potential. She really got to see. I don't think Missy has to do necessarily anything else, because she doesn't owe the game shit. All she has to do is just tour, because Missy has had that career that she could do a full length 2 hour show off of, because her discography speaks for itself, and her track record and her resume is just ill. It's incomparable to any female MC before her. Number two, this woman has influenced everybody on this list. Everybody. This woman was like the first woman to go out there and be featured alongside guys, and she would tear niggas up. And this is the first female that guys was just like, oh my god, this girl's a problem. I gotta go for my neck and I gotta step my shit up. MC Lyte. Man, her style is just ridiculous to me. And she has one of the most recognizable voices, and her voice is just so fucking powerful. And then when she spoke, niggas actually listened. You know, she put out some dope albums. She had hit records. My personal favorite is Roughneck, and when she put that out, I was a kid, but I was loving this fucking record. And this film's like, who is this female that's just spitting these hardcore gangster rap lyrics? And she came out when the MC was a lot more poetical, like the Tribe Called Quest era. And she was like, even though I'm spitting with a message, I can't be fucked with lyrically either. So a lot of people kind of leave her off female list. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Light as a rock, motherfucker. Cha cha cha, motherfucker. To this Mardi Gras, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of presence that she had. Number one, I mean, everybody knows who number one is. Lauryn Hill, the greatest female MC of all time. It's easy to put her number one. Everybody wants to go to the career thing. The career thing. She only put out one album. Well, they say you're only good as your last album. Well, 8 Grammys, 10 million records. Okay, I'm good with that. I mean, she had a career with the Fugees. She was an actress. She was a singer already. And for her to, and Lauryn Hill had your command at every step, every lyric, every bar, every note. I mean, she came out with Wyclef and Prize, who were two talented guys. I mean, the Score sold 25 million records off one record. Lauryn Hill, like, I read this recent article with Talib Kweli where he's saying Lauryn Hill doesn't know nobody's shit. Lauryn Hill doesn't have to put on a good show. You paid to see the shit. If you don't like the shit, don't go again. Don't see her again. You know what I'm saying? Because Lauryn Hill ain't hurting for no fucking money. She got like 8 kids, but she still take care of them. She's still functioning. I mean, but Lauryn Hill did cave to the pressures of fame. But at the same time, when you're a person who just wants to be a regular person and doesn't want to be a celebrity, that tends to bring down a lot of careers when you're not built for this shit. but every time she comes on the mic and raps or sings, she has your attention 100%. And I think that she's influenced a lot of people like Jean Grey, like Nitty Scott, like Rhapsody, like she's influenced a lot of people because she was really powerful with her message as well. But overall, this list is pretty much as accurate as I could get it. There's some people that I mentioned that didn't make the list, but that was because either they were one hit wonders or I think they just didn't fit the bill for the list. But, you know what I'm saying? Any questions, comments, leave in the box. I'm going to holla at y'all niggas later. One.